Manga-Waido.
I'm Aita Motodoki. At 36, I'm second in command at a small company in Tokyo. I work hard to make this company a success. The company's president is Mr. Fukuyama. We collaborated and established this company some years back. I met Mr. Fukuyama while I was working at an IT company called YDM Services. I joined the company with high hopes, but it turned out to be a pretty shady company. The president of the company, Mr. Hiranuma, and his aides treated the regular employees like slaves. And there were rumors that they used company funds for their own personal enjoyment. In that dismal environment, I met Mr. Fukuyama at this company and we hit it off right away. After a while, we decided to establish a company with the motto, "Employees First." Of course, things didn't go smoothly at first, and there were countless times we almost gave up, but we stuck to our guns using our experience we gained from working at YDM Services. Our hard work paid off, and we finally established a client base and managed to hire about 20 employees. As the company grew, Mr. Fukuyama tended to leave all the everyday business activities to me. I know he has to meet clients and all, but it wasn't the employees first concept that I'd envisioned. Then, one day when I was growing a little disillusioned with the way the company was going, Mr. Fukuyama approached me and made a suggestion. Excuse me? You want to bring your younger brother into the business? Yeah, that's right. Mr. Fukuyama has a younger brother who recently quit the company he was working at and felt it was a good opportunity to invite him to join. But I couldn't just agree right off the bat. We established this company to avoid just this kind of thing. We pledged that we would do things properly and not hire people through connections. We agreed to keep things legit. Mr. Fukuyama? Can your brother, Shuji, was it? Is he a competent worker? Of course! Don't worry about that! Anyway, even if he's not, once you train him, he'll do just fine. I appreciate you saying that, sir, but alright, I'll do the best I can. After all, he is your brother. And then, several days later, I'm happy to be here and have the opportunity to work with my brother and all of you. I'll try to do my best. Okay, Shuji. Don't let me down, kid brother. Just because I'm the president's brother, you don't have to treat me any different. Please, treat me like you would any other employee. Alright, I'm happy you feel that way. Shuji seemed sincere, and I felt kind of bad that I had misgivings about him. I took him under my wing and proceeded to teach him the ins and outs of our business. But as Mr. Fukuyama said, he was pretty competent, and I really didn't have to teach him much. He was even able to go on a sales call himself. I was relieved and decided not to watch over him too closely, but then again, I thought maybe I should have been a little more stringent. What I mean is, he would go out and get new accounts, but he seemed to be a little too forceful, and at times there were complaints from customers. As his superior, I would reprimand him for it, and he would simply apologize. I'm so sorry, sir. It won't happen again, I assure you. But his apologies seemed half-hearted, and complaints continued to come in. The other employees were also a little apprehensive about Shuji's methods. I talked to Mr. Fukuyama about it, but he simply said he'd talk to him about it, and that was that. It seemed Mr. Fukuyama was busy clinching some big project with a major company. Shuji's behavior hadn't changed at all, and we continued to get complaints. What's more, Mr. Fukuyama left all office matters to me. I felt that all I had worked for and envisioned of the company seemed to slowly crumble away. Then one day I was visiting a client, a company rep I had a good business relationship with. He mentioned, "It seems the president's younger brother visited us. Are you sure everything is okay?" Excuse me, sir, I'm not sure what you mean. I heard from a colleague that this younger brother, he tried to embezzle funds from that company he was working for. Wait, what? Are you serious? It seems the company was worried about their image and didn't press charges, and simply let him go and left everything hush-hush. I know it's a rumor, but I couldn't just ignore it. I had to check it out. On a different day, I was making the rounds of another co-worker, and he wanted my advice on something. I'm not sure if I should say, but he gathered all the guys in our section and said this. We really didn't know what to think. Are you serious? Did he really say that? I couldn't just let that pass. I had to talk to Mr. Fukuyama about it. I finished up my rounds and headed back to the office. I went straight to Mr. Fukuyama's office. As I approached the door to his office, I heard something I couldn't believe. Yeah, well, I was totally wrong about that. I was pretty young, you know. No way. This can't be right. At that moment, I felt all that I'd built up over the last 10 years came tumbling down. And then the week that followed, a drastic incident occurred. There was this case where Shuji got this particular account, which later escalated into complaints from the customer, and subsequently the entire account was cancelled. It seems that the president of this company was quite elderly, and so Shuji took advantage of this and sweet-talked the old guy into a deal. It was later revealed that what he promised was all fabricated. We found out about it before getting a formal contract was signed, so things didn't get out of hand, but if it had, our company would have financially crippled our company. As a result, we were both called into the president's office. Of course, this is entirely your fault, Shuji, but Aita, you were responsible for your staff. You should have seen this coming. Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I should have handled it better. And another thing, I could see from some time ago that you two just don't relate. If this continues, I'll just make the office environment toxic. I'd have to let one of you go. I'd have to pick my brother Shuji. Right. This is for the good of the company. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to ask you to resign. Understand, sir. I'll take responsibility. I really didn't want to do this, Aita. I'm really sorry about all this, Aita. I feel bad. I didn't intend for this to happen. Forget it. But make sure you do a good job going forward. I want to see the company succeed. But Aita, please! I better clear up my desk. I left the office, but stood by the door and listened in. I wanted to confirm something that seemed a bit shady. And just as I suspected. Great job, Shuji. The way you handled that old man and the complaint was genius. Now that the busybody is gone, we can get on with our plan. But are you sure everything will be okay? Yeah, no problem. They complained, but there was no contract. I was going to cut ties with that company anyways. The old geezer won't last long. Okay then, Shuji. You can do as you like now. No more Aita looking over your shoulder at every turn. You're second in command now. Don't let me down. You've always been a great big brother to me. I appreciate it. Just as I thought. After that, I called all the clients and informed them about my resignation and was clearing out my desk. The other staff members were concerned, but there was nothing any of us could do, at least for now. My last day at the company arrived, and everyone, including Shuji and Mr. Fukuyama, saw me off. Mr. Fukuyama, I'm resigning, but I hope you and your brother increase business and make this company a success. I'm rooting for you guys. You got it, Aita. We won't let you down. Even if you're quitting, we're still buddies. If you need anything, make sure to stop in any time. Thank you for saying that. I may just take you up on that sooner than you think. I returned home and started making preparations right away. For starters, I created a letter to both Shuji and Mr. Fukuyama. Okay, how should I start? Thanks for all your help. After my resignation, I'm obliged to convey some undeniable facts to you. Then about 1 month later, several staff members invited me out for a few drinks. They gave me the lowdown on the current office environment. You won't believe this, Aita. After you left, the company is really in a dire situation. Apparently, after I quit, the company went downhill fast. Both Shuji and Mr. Fukuyama were always on edge, and the office environment was dismal. Maybe I should follow in your footsteps, Aita? Yeah, me too. The future of this company does not look too promising. Hey, Aita, have you already found a new job? Yeah, sort of. I've been thinking of this and that. Oh yeah, really? Yeah. Still in the works for now. I'll let you know. You guys keep at it. Yeah, okay. Several months after I resigned, I got a message from both Shuji and Mr. Fukuyama. Apparently, they wanted me to come to the office. I immediately replied to them separately and told them that I would be there on a certain date and time. Yes! All according to plan. When I arrived at the office, I encountered both Shuji and Mr. Fukuyama glaring at each other. Not a very friendly environment. I need to talk to you about a certain matter, Shuji. Oh yeah? Well, me too! It seems you tried to embezzle funds from the last company you were at. Is that true? What? Who told you that? I bet you were trying to trick me and do the same to this company, am I right?
Oh yeah? Well, how about you? You were trying to kick me out and rob this company. Is that any different?
What? Where'd you get that idea? I never did anything of the sort. Whoa, seems like an all-out brawl. Do you even have proof of such allegations? On the other hand, I have plenty of evidence of your embezzlement schemes.
Oh, I got plenty of proof. Don't you worry. I even brought a witness here just of that purpose.
Oh yeah? Well, what do you know? I brought Ita here as my witness.
Wait a second. I was the one who asked Ida here.
Huh? Hold on, what's going on here? I asked him here too.
What's up, guys?
Ita? What are you up to?
Up to? Nothing. All I did was send you information about what I knew, that's all. Yep, the reason why they're quarreling like this is because of that mail I sent them after I resigned. First, I wrote to Mr. Fukuyama about the embezzlement scheme that Shuji concocted at his previous company, and how it was hushed up. Then I wrote to Shuji about how he was to get rid of me.
Yeah, well, I was totally wrong about that. I was pretty young, you know. Oh yeah, Ita, I'm making preparation to get him to resign. No worries there. You were right, Mr. Hiranuma. A busybody number 2 in command is a total hassle. Can't get anything done.
Is he talking about Mr. Hiranuma? The president of YDM Services? No way!
And about that case you were asking about.
My suspicions were correct. He was talking to the president of YDM Services, the shady company we previously worked for. They were scheming about cooking the books and various methods to evade taxes. It seemed obvious the two were ultimately planning to rob the company blind. It was Mr. Fukuyama that concocted that plan to foment a false complaint and eventually get me to resign. It seems obvious now that Mr. Fukuyama was planning to embezzle the company from the get-go, and I was in the way and he needed to get rid of me. Right about this time, his younger brother quit the company, so he saw his chance and eventually got me to resign. He hid the fact about his embezzlement plans from Shuji.
You'll be president someday, but first, we need to get rid of Ita.
He purposefully got Shuji to approach that company and cause them to complain, which led to my resignation. Now that I was gone, Mr. Fukuyama was making plans to get rid of Shuji as well. And that's when he read my mail about his brother's embezzlement case at his previous company. The timing was perfect. Mr. Fukuyama latched onto this information and started collecting all the evidence to cast aside his younger brother. He was going to confront him with all the evidence today. And it also seemed Shuji was also fabricating some kind of scheme.
I'm not sure if I should say this, but he gathered all the guys in our section and said this.
What did he say?
He said he was planning on taking over the company after he succeeds in ousting his brother. Something like that.
He's serious?
He said that. He's way more smarter than his brother. Better educated too. He's the one going out and winning all these accounts. If he wasn't there, the company would collapse in a week. Something to that effect.
Apparently, Shuji was planning on dumping his older brother from the word go. He used his brother to get rid of me. As planned, I wrote to Shuji and told him about his brother's plans to rob the company blind, eliminate him in the process. In the end, they were both scheming against each other for their own selfish reasons.
You begged to join this company just so you could rip me off? Was that the plan from the very beginning?
Yeah, that's right. And you ruined the whole thing. You're gonna pay for this.
What? Hold on a second, Shuji. If you just did what you were told, none of this would have happened.
Yeah, right. That from someone who was scheming to embezzle the company from the get-go. Don't make me laugh.
Oh boy, is this what brotherly love is all about? Jeez. I don't know if I can listen to this any longer. Even if I didn't send those emails, the company would probably have gone under anyway. I could have just ignored it all and walked out, but there was something that stuck with me.
Sir, I overheard the whole thing. What's this all about? We have a right to know.
Yeah, what's this about? Don't you have any concern for your employees, for God's sake?
We're gonna quit this lousy company and join Ada's operation.
What are you talking about? What's this about Ita's operation?
After I resigned, I wasn't only thinking about getting back at the Fukuyama brothers, I was also busy preparing to set up my own firm. I wasn't planning to recruit the staff from my old company, but I did tell them that I was planning to establish my own company.
Don't tell me that you had this all planned out. You knew about all this?
Please, how could I do that? You placed your own employees in a toxic work environment. Why wouldn't they want to escape from it?
What?
I'll fire this no-good brother of mine, so please, Aita, come back and work for us. What do you say? Before I can do that, I would prefer that you return to the person you were when we first met. Yeah, well, yeah, I guess that's not possible. I hope you brothers succeed, that's all I can say. Damn you, Aita! After that, about half the employees quit and joined my company, and the other half gradually quit and went their separate ways. That left the company with just the two brothers. Obviously, they couldn't continue to do business, and all their clients disappeared and the company eventually went under. Last I heard, the two brothers lost all means of livelihood. I happened to watch the news the other day about an arrest of a certain Mr. Huanuma, the president of YDM. He got caught embezzling the company for millions. As for me, I started the new company with all the members from my previous firm, and we're all working to build it up. This time, I'm gonna do my best to preserve my employee-first policy I started out with. This time, I'll stick to my guns no matter what.